This is your Barbados Today morning news update for Friday, August 2nd, 2019. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carol Williams. A strong message has been sent to would-be lawbreakers as crop over celebration climaxes. Barbados Today's Marlon Madden reports.
From pick of the crop finals Friday night to 4-day morning in the wee hours of Saturday, ending with grand cadument on Monday, it's now down to the wire for the annual crop over celebration. It has been free from any major incidents of violence and authorities are intent on keeping it that way. There will be consequences for those who break the law. In a statement, authorities have pointed to the Public Order Act, which states that anyone found guilty of engaging in disorderly conduct is liable on summary conviction to a fine of $5,000 or to imprisonment for 6 months or both. And they've also issued a warning to persons who attempt to enter a cadument band without permission. In fact, they have noted that anyone who isn't a member of a band or haven't been authorized to do so shouldn't enter the band without permission while it's in an assembly area or on a designated route. Being more specific, any person who enters a band after being forbidden to do so, who uses threatening or abusive words or engages in disorderly behavior likely to constitute harassment, or causes alarm or distress to any member of the band for the purpose of securing entry into the band, either for himself or another person, or who fails to leave the band after being directed to do so by an authorized person, is guilty of an offense. Marlon Madden for Barbados Today.
There are just under 15,000 registered revelers for the 4-day morning jam, and attention also turns to the Bridgetown Market. Producer Alison Seeley-Smith says the area will come alive from Friday to Monday on the Mighty Griner Highway with its showcase of local food, craft, and entertainment.
Now, the goal this year is to provide an action-packed, fun-filled time for the entire family and to keep interest high in this hallmark event, which has been a part of the crop over calendar since 1976. So you know that we always have our work cut out for us in terms of people like doing things a certain way. They've been doing it that way since the last century. So we got to keep some things the same, and we got to keep some things, make some things different, make sure that we refresh and revitalize. And you can look at the setup on the Mighty Griner Highway, and as far as humanly possible, we have kept all of the structures off of the sidewalks. This is to allow for spectator comfort on Grand Cadument Day. We have also got zones on the highway that we're designating as spectator zones, again, just to make that experience on Grand Cadument Monday better.
The Emancipation Walk, which has become a staple of Emancipation Day celebrations, did not come off this year. Organizers would only say that this was due to a mix-up. Instead, dozens of Pan-Africanists and others gathered at the feet of the Emancipation statue to pay respect to the ancestors as they celebrated Emancipation Day yesterday. There were speeches, cultural presentations, and laying of flowers. Pan-Africanist Ambassador David Commijon explains why the day remains important.
It is really the first major achievement of our people, of our ancestors, when by our collective action, collectively showing that there was such irrepressible resistance to the system of slavery that the European powers that be had to take that decision to dismantle the system. So we see the abolition of slavery as very much a collective achievement of the Caribbean people. And so when we celebrate Emancipation Day here in Barbados, yes, we are not only celebrating the great anti-slavery heroes of Barbados, the Bussers, the Nanny Gregs, the Jackies, but we're also celebrating the King Courts and Tomboys of Antigua, the Takis and Sam Sharps of Jamaica.
General Secretary of the Pan-African Coalition Organization, David Denny, repeated the call for Nanny Gregg to be declared a national heroine.
We must reflect on the lives of these great men and women who would have participated in this process. And we need to demand, not make a call, demand that our government and our people see Nanny Gregg as a national hero. One of the ladies of that period, the Boston Rebellion, who would have played a major role, and we cannot leave out the ladies. It's important to include the ladies who were involved in the struggle.
Some 35 cyclists also joined the celebration.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In Guyana, the People's Progressive Party continues to stage demonstrations demanding that the president name a date for elections, among other things. For more on that story, we go to HGP TV.
Among the things the PPP is calling for are the naming of a date for elections, the dissolution of parliament, and the resignation of the cabinet. These are positions the opposition maintained and sustained before and after the CCJ handed down its directives in the no-confidence matters.
So our manifestation today was to ensure that the president hear the voices of the masses of the Guyanese people.
Opposition member Bishop Juan Edgel. Edgel expects that the new GCOM chair will end the house-to-house registration.
As a person who is impartial, as a person who has very high credentials of being a person who honors the Constitution and the law, shut this nonsense down and let's get a claims and an objections period, refresh the list which validity expired on April 30th. Let's get a credible list by having a claims and objections period and get elections on the road.
And finally, Rwanda has denied it has closed its border with the Democratic Republic of Congo over fears of Ebola spreading. The denial comes as health officials said 2 more people were infected in an eastern Congolese city. More from France 24.
August 2018, DR Congo's health ministry declares 4 cases of the Ebola virus in North Kivu near the Ugandan border. It marks the start of Congo's 10th Ebola outbreak since 1976. The announcement came 8 days after the previous epidemic in Western Congo was successfully contained. 1 year on, the virus is still spreading and has claimed over 1,800 lives.
The role of the population is crucial in the fight against the epidemic. We can't do anything without a committed population. That's why we train to be able to detect suspicious cases at a community level.
Like HIV or hepatitis, the Ebola virus is spread through blood or bodily fluids and is not airborne. To avoid getting infected, it's recommended to stay away from wild animals, both alive and dead, and avoid contact with infected people. Despite a campaign backed by the UN and international donors, local authorities have been struggling to contain the epidemic. Health centres and medical staff have come under attack from various militia groups active in the region. There's also been widespread mistrust among the local population, some even denying that the disease exists.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.pb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. And sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Carol Williams. Have a good day.